Hi everybody, Robert Dyer, and welcome to the Robert Dyer channel after Christmas countdown. We're going all the way through January 6th. Happy New Year to each and every one of you watching. Holy smokers, I just found these at Walmart. Pringles Wavy. I've got classic salted, and they also had sweet and tangy barbecue. Now, Pringles have been around since 1968, I believe. They originally came from Cincinnati. Today they're in Jackson, Tennessee, right off the interstate, and made in the USA, which is very important. Try to put people to work in this country. And you have, overall, I'm not really too big on wavy chips. They're kind of, I think the really relevant part of the wavy chip is that you can pick up more dip, if you have one, on the chip using those indentations. The wavy is a little bit different from Ruffles, which are ridged, and so I'm a big fan of Ruffles, but not so much the wavy type chip. You know, Lay's has one, but get these, you know, I always, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with Pringles, and they were just the old-fashioned, plain, original flavor Pringles. So that's one of the reasons I picked up this one that just says, as they put it on here, classic salted. So the bar is pretty high for that. The aroma, very similar to Pringles, but a little bit of a potato stick aroma in there too. Let's go ahead and see how it tastes. Well, it just tastes quite similar to a regular Pringles chip in terms of the flavor. You just have a little bit slightly thicker overall chip, and you can pick up, I guess, the dip with it, as I mentioned earlier. A more effective delivery system for a dip. Now here we have the barbecue. I'm a big fan of the Pringles barbecue flavor, so I don't know if it'll be different. This one says on the package, sweet and tangy barbecue. And in the illustration here, you see a tomato, onion, a red pepper, a chili pepper, I should say. So that doesn't even make sense because they said sweet and tangy, but let's go ahead and see how it tastes. Yeah, that actually is a different barbecue from the regular Pringles barbecue. It does have a bit of a zing from a chili pepper. I wouldn't say it's just barely a 2 out of 10 on the Robert Dyer heat scale. Here's one that's a little better coated than the first one was. Can you hear the fire crackling in the fireplace? I know it's snowing in many parts of the country. What better way to pass the time indoors than with the latest issue of the National Examiner. Whether it's the late-breaking change to Bob Barker's final arrangements or the latest message from Michael Landon from beyond the grave, I can count on the National Examiner to keep me informed. I always first turn to Dear Tony for the latest psychic news. Millions are following America's top psychic healer. He predicts a very cold winter. Who would have ever predicted that? Cold in the winter. Dear Tony, I was sleeping and woke up with a start. My body jerked off the bed. Did I leave my body and come back? Victoria S. Dear Victoria, it could be astral travel, where the soul leaves the body. It stays connected by a silver cord. When the learning trip is over, it sometimes can end with a bang. It happens to me sometimes, and I always come back psychically refreshed. Who knew? Those crackheads at the motel are actually astral travelers. Well, it definitely does have a pretty good mixture of a classic barbecue flavor as well as some spicy zing to it. So I would say that if you're looking at these on the shelves, that it basically would come down to, first of all, are you going to be having a dip with it? I usually don't often have dip with my chips, even though if it were up to me I'd have it every time, but it usually adds more salt and fat than I would rather put in on that. So regrettably I don't often have a dip with my potato chips, but if you're going to have a dip, then you'll have that utility of being able to scoop up more. It's a little bit thicker, but I like the fact that it wasn't made like a real hard, like a kettle cooked chip where you're really breaking through a tough thing. But if you're not having a dip with it, I would just recommend going ahead and getting original Pringles, because there's virtually no difference in flavor between this and regular Pringles. This one, however, does have a unique flavor, and so this one might be worth picking up whether you have a dip or not. So I'm going to say, while there's nothing special about Classic Salted, there's no way I can rate it any less than 5 stars, because regular old-fashioned Pringles are 5 stars, and you get exactly the same flavor in that. And then this one, you're not only getting that great Pringles chip and flavor, you're also getting a unique new spicy barbecue, which they call sweet and tangy. I didn't notice much sweet about it at all. I just, other than the standard Kraft barbecue type sweetness. So that one's worth giving a try. So either one of these is going to be 5 stars. Hope you like this video. Share it with your friends. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time, tomorrow, on this Christmas countdown. Bye, everybody.